You said I'm live? Huh? Oh, welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live from my bedroom. I shouldn't say it's my bedroom. I don't even know that I'm in my bedroom unless I tell you. Well, I'm here at home. We're doing the virtual thing. I think this is our fourth show. Tonight I'm gonna have a gentleman on by the name of Tyrone. Ugh, I should know his name. Tyrone Barnwell. He is the advocate for parents and teachers in the Baltimore City school system. He works for an organization where he's kind of where he is the liaison for parents, and he's an advocate for parents in the Baltimore City community. And he'll be on shortly. He just did a press conference at the Impact Hub yesterday that included a number of city officials, including Carl Stokes. I believe he's running for city council person. And Sheila Dixon was on, was there. They were all live from the Impact Hub. And I believe they had it was broadcast over the news and such. And there was a number of advocates that worked in the educational system that were trying to figure out what we're going to do with our students moving forward because they're saying at least the first half of next year may be virtual as well, depending on how this pandemic pans out in the next couple months. They're planning for the first half of next school year to also be a um, virtual uh, classroom setting. But the problem is, as of right now, we are ending week one of officially being virtual with the school system, and there's still not enough computers for all the students. I've suggested to a number of the parents who I teach that they use smartphones or tablets, but the school system does not have enough actual computers for all the students that they have right now that are out of school and doing it virtually. So a number of organizations are putting together proposals to get more laptops, but the problem with that would be is they still have to be delivered and paid for, or paid for and delivered, and that may be going into the end of next week or the beginning of next week. And the way Amazon's going right now and the system, it may take a little bit longer with mailing things out. In addition to that, they're putting out a plea for people to send in your used laptops or your working order laptops that you want to donate, actual laptop or smart device, a tablet, a smartphone to a family that may need an additional. Because if you are a family of say 3 or 4 and you're already low income and all the students don't have laptops in their homes, you gotta navigate between which student can do what. One of my parents had one of her students on a computer, one on her tablet, and one on her smartphone. And that could be a distraction if the screen isn't big enough or the sound isn't loud enough. So we're a lot of programs right now are trying to think about the of long term effect of being out of school and not having the proper tools or not being equipped or the proper equipment to actually learn because everything is virtual now. And that's taken away from some of the students not being live. A number of the programs allow you to, well, the program format that the public school is using, Baltimore City Public School is using, they'll be able to save the class so your child can probably go to it later and catch up. But I don't believe that I think it erases itself after 24 hours. I'm not good at this. C. Harris, I'm in here. What are we building on? So one of the things is, and now once Tyrone gets on the line, he'll be able to give out a little bit more information in terms of how and what is needed. But the program that he is with, they're trying to find additional laptops. So if you have a spare laptop that you're not using anymore, that's still in pretty good working condition, they're asking for you to donate, or if it's a tablet or a smartphone that you're no longer using, but it still is in working order, they're asking for you to donate it. And I'll put the link to the live. Actually, the live is on the radio show page already. But I'm gonna reach out to Tyrone and see if he's able to uh, come on. Um, well, he's trying to get on now. But that being aside, I'm gonna wait till Tyrone gets on and see. Uh, see, I'm not good with all this, but good news for the Artist Exchange. I am directing a reading that we're going to do virtually on the 19th of April, not this Sunday coming, the following Sunday. We figured this Sunday would be a little hectic because it is Easter. And ooh, so we're trying to do something to keep the creative energy going. A play that I directed a number of times that is supposed to be being turned into a film. We're actually going to do a stage reading of that. And I brought back three actresses that have been working on the project before. Tanelia Ingram, who actually uh, Tanelia Ingram, who actually started the piece out with a one-woman show of it. She'll be joining us, and then we'll have Joanne Wallace. I mean Wiley. I'm sorry. She'll be joining us as well. She did the play two different times, and then we'll have Jasira Glover. She was with us when we first took the play to the National Theater Festival in DC with three women. The plays were done a number of times over the last time we did it was in 2018 at the Peel Center, and we did an immersive art show, and it's been done quite a few times, and that was the 10th year anniversary. So we're actually in the 12th year for it now. It's been done, and I've been on it for the last 10 years, working with it, producing it, and directing it. And just out of the blue, Latanya Valencia Moss, the writer of it, asked me to come on and what we want to do a reading. And that kind of jump started my creativity. And I was really excited because this is really this in the house, this quarantine, this coronavirus has really um, did a number on my creativity, and I've really have felt outside of myself creatively, and I've been trying to find ways to get back to it. So I think this play would definitely be, and it's a live virtual reading because we'll all be in different locations, but we have assembled three really phenomenal actresses. Again, they've all played a part. I believe Tanelia did it as a one-woman show. That's when we first took it to the theater festival, and she actually was in the inspiration behind Latanya Valencia Moss actually writing the piece. And then uh, Jay, she's done it. This will be her third time doing it. She did it when we took three women to the festival, a theater festival. The second time we went to the theater festival, rather, and she did it 2 years ago when we did it at the Peel Center as the immersive art piece, and this will be her third time. And Jasira did it just that one time when we took it back to the theater festival for the second time. But we may have a couple surprise guests that join us. There'll be a brief interview in the beginning, and you can ask the actresses some questions at the end. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited. It is going to be on April the 19th. That's a Sunday, April the 19th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can get right on it online. We're asking for donations. It's free to watch it. We're not charging you. We're just asking for donations. We have two different places, and I'll put that information out there. If you haven't already seen it, you can go to the Artist Exchanges page and look at the Eventbrite if I haven't already added a number of you already. and you can watch it from anywhere you are in the world, in the city, or wherever. And it'll be live streaming from Facebook as well as YouTube. So please stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. I've been talking to the ladies, and they're really excited, and they're reading through and getting themselves refreshed. But I'll be putting some clips out there, of course, so you can get a kind of a taste of what you'll be seeing. But it's in the line of for colored girls and a couple different pieces. It has the verbiage and the impact verbally of say an August Wilson piece, but it's definitely rooted in women, and it is definitely a great piece. I fell in love with it the first time I met it. The first time I heard it being read with Tanelia being in it. And I fell in love with it since then. So I'm really excited to be a part of it and really joining it. Some things that have been up with me. I've just been planning what's next for the Artist Exchange. It's really an uncertain time right now that we're in, and I've been planning a few possible projects for the summer and the fall. And I've been doing some brainstorming with some possible programming for Be Exposed. We have a new way of promoting your business that we'll be putting out there over the weekend. I'll be posting some more about it. But if you are a business and you're looking for a really different, creative way to promote your business live on air, where specifically your business, please send me a message. You can either email us at info@beexposedradio.com or the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. And you can send us your information on your show, maybe some links, because I'll be creating a schedule, a lineup of shows that we can promote. And it'll be in somewhat of infomercial format. So definitely stay tuned for that. Again, you can email us if your business is interested in doing so at info@beexposedradio.com, as well as the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. I'm trying to figure what is going on with our guest. He was trying to get on a few minutes ago, but I'll uh, see. Mm, But I'm really excited about just the possibility. My leg is going to sleep, so please bear with me for a second. Um, and I'm trying to. Sorry, this bed is not comfortable. It's not made for this. But yeah, so a lot of exciting things. My jewelry, if you have not already taken a look at it, I'll be adding some more pieces. I've been working in the last week or so on some new pieces, but we're having a really big sale on some jewelry. If you go to www.vashtiebluejewelry.com, you can see some really awesome pieces. We have some nice prices. If you're local, you get free shipping, or you get free shipping over anything over 35 if you're outside of the Baltimore area. And we ship every Wednesday and Saturday. So please stay locked in, stay tuned in for that. Saturdays may be um, if we don't ship on Saturdays, because some of the post offices have don't have extended hours anymore. So I've been delivering every Wednesday and Saturday anyway. But um, let me see if I can just call him and if he's available. Um, so yeah, this has been really difficult creatively for me. I'm not used to sitting still and being still, but it really has helped me to it has really helped me to stay focused and reorganize a lot of my thoughts. And I'm just interested to know some of the things that you all out there are doing. So if you want to, what's the text line? If you put it in the message. Say it again. Sorry, I moved my camera. What's the text number? So you can actually give us a text and let me know what are some of the things that you've been doing. If you have been quarantined, you can give us a text at 443-642-9403. Again, that's 443-642-9403. Or you can leave it right down in the comment section. Let me actually get on the actual live. So we got Riga on the line. Okay. Uh, the jewelry website is www.vashtibluejewelry.com. Hey Miss Pam, Riga's online. Ariana, hey, how's it going? Um, but I'm really excited about what is to come for everything. I know a lot of people have been sitting at home brainstorming and working and just getting it done. And I'm really excited about what possibilities we have in terms of what's to come and how we are working. I'm sorry, I'm not good at all this at one time, and I'm trying hard to um, do everything at once. But um, yeah. So tell me what have you been doing during this lockdown, during this quarantine? Have you started any business? I mean, I think I've liked maybe 50 new pages that have been um, posted in the last 2 weeks. People have really been getting to their creative. A lot of seamstresses. No, I think it's sliding down. Can you see that? Is that the center? So a lot of seamstresses I know are really getting a lot of work done, and I'm really happy for a lot of my friends who have been thinking about sewing more or creating clothing, but a lot of them have been put to work because a lot of the nurses or first responders or just people in general have been using the mask. I have a couple masks that I did not bring on, but a friend of mine have been sewing her life away the last week, and she doesn't want me to put her information out there. She doesn't want me to put her information out there because she's gotten a lot of orders that she's still backed up on. And once she gets a little bit more taken care of, she'll be able to do it. But I posted on my personal page a link to a young lady who's looking for someone to start sewing some face masks for her assisted living place. And there are a couple other organizations that's looking for people to start sewing some of the cover ups as well as some facial masks as well to put across your bottom half of your face. So if you are inclined, if you are a sewer, please get on it. And I'm quite sure it doesn't matter where you are because there are plenty of. I would reach out to nursing homes or assisted living places and see what their needs are because I know a lot of people are even the Sam's Club, Walmart, a lot of places where you can buy things in bulk are losing out because they can't find a lot of stuff. And even online, it's hard to really order face masks. But a lot of people have started to sew but you have to make sure if you are sewing that you kind of get the requirement so you're not just sewing things and people can't really use them or they're not really helping people out because I think it's supposed to be a certain type of fabric, a certain amount of layers, and it's supposed to be this filter fabric that you can still get from I think you can still get them from CVS or there are a number of places where you can get the filter fabric from. It's like this filter paper, and you can use it as well. But they have the requirements listed on the CDC site for people who are making masks. So definitely look for that. So I told you about a little bit about the educational process. If you have children at home, I do want to hear from you as well. Let me know how it's been for the last 2 weeks, or really, we've been out for a month now. This coming Sunday, it children have been out for a whole. Most children have been out for about a month now because that Friday before was the first day Baltimore City schools had closed. So it's been almost a month since this Sunday will be a month since school has been closed. So I'm really interested to know. I've been hearing from quite a few of my friends that are parents and a couple of my students' parents, and it's really tough on them in terms of timing. Some families are fortunate because either one or both of the parents have been either laid off or are available at home, but there are a number of parents who can't send their children to school because they're not there. A lot of the daycare centers have had to close down. Um, and a lot of the ones that are still open are specifically for um, healthcare or certain types of essential employees. They're not open for the general public, even if you still have to work. And a lot of parents are not used to being at home so much. So it's a total lifestyle change. But I'm really interested to know what have you been doing. Hey, how's it going? Uh, I'm really interested to know what's been going on with you. Has anything changed? How have you adapted your schedule? For those people who are teleworking, how are you doing that? How is that benefiting you? I know a lot more people. It feels like I'm doing more work at home than I normally do on a regular basis. It really feels like I've had to work more because you're doing all your work at one time. I really had to, and I'm really not there yet, but I've been trying to find um, different ways to schedule myself. So put myself on a schedule. Um, my eating schedule, I've had to really buckle down and really make a tighter schedule for that because I'm not like I normally don't eat breakfast, and then I'm at work. I'm normally getting to work most days during lunchtime, and then I normally eat after I get off, and then I get to the station, and so my whole eating schedule was off. My sleeping schedule is very much so out of whack. And I've had to force myself to get up at a certain time and be um, be up and working and doing things on a schedule where if it's house cleaning or if it's doing some research or working on jewelry or creating some processes for the station, like really trying to work and keep a regular schedule. I'm used to working, but I'm going. You said what? Message. And first of all, I've been working really hard, Mr. Monty. Uh, he said I'm lying. No, I'm not lying, sir. It's been really difficult to put myself on a schedule where you're in the same space. So what I've had to do in my front room, I've started doing certain projects, or I'll go into the kitchen or on the balcony, or I try to avoid my bedroom all day long because that's what I have been doing. Everything I was doing was in my bedroom, and it was forcing me to like be lazy, and I would lay down and I would fall asleep and I would get back up and then I would be up all night trying to figure out what I could do. What has been a benefit of this is I've started communicating with people a little bit better. I've begun to actually have conversations with people that normally it'd be like a couple texts and then you busy for a couple hours, then you make text back. But having nice conversations, learning a little bit more about people that I thought I knew and now I know, and it's really interesting just to see how people are adapting to this. Some people are still going crazy. Some people are really finding the solace in uh, just being like an extended vacation time. And we just went through like what was should have been spring break is should have been, I believe it would have been Tuesday. So we would have been just going on spring break until next, I want to say Monday. And it's really just putting everything off. And I decided on Wednesday of this week to just stop, create a schedule, and try my best to actually stick to it. And it's really been difficult trying to do that. And I didn't really realize how difficult it would be. just trying to hold up and keep up and stay motivated through this. I didn't realize how difficult just creating a schedule could be for somebody, and not realizing how how to actually do it and how to keep it going. Bonnie says that's what I did too. I avoid my bedroom because I sleep. I will be sleep. If I try to work from there, that's why I am in the basement. I really did. Normally, I don't even go in my front room because it's closer to the street, so it's really loud in there. So I've tried to go in there and start some of my bigger art projects so I can spread out more. And then I go in the kitchen when I just want to be on my laptop doing like some research type of work, or when I'm doing this with the students, just so to be a quiet location. And then I've started sitting out on my balcony more, which I never really do. I started doing that. I'm cooking more than I've ever cooked before. Um, I realized, and I think I said this the first day that we was on here. I used to always say it was a reason why I didn't do certain things. Like I've really been wanting to paint my rooms. I've been wanting to do a couple repairs and stuff like that. And I've got the materials. Crazy enough, I got the paint, I got the brushes, I got all those things, and I realized it wasn't that I was busy. I really just didn't want to do it. And I kept lying to myself, saying, "Hey, when I get some time, I'm gonna do it on spring break. I'm gonna do it on Christmas vacation. I'm gonna do it over." And I realized in this, I really just didn't want to do it, and I was lying to myself and blaming it on being busy or having to work. But now I have the time, and the stuff is still in the closet. I haven't moved it. I've done a lot of cleaning and organizing, and I realized I don't need as many clothes because I don't wear nearly as many clothes as I actually have. So I've been doing a lot more organizing. Um, and only thing that I really do in my bed now is my radio show because this is the most comfortable spot to be in. That's the noise level isn't as bad. You won't hear outside as much. But outside of that, I'm really enjoying the alone time. It was starting to get to me a little bit at first, but I just started calling people more. I'm not a telephone person, so I started actually calling people a little bit more, and that has helped me to really kind of maintain a balance. And I'm starting to be able to talk more because everybody has more time and availability to talk more now, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really patient. I'm trying to be more patient and more available for those things because I'm not used to doing it. But it has really been um, closing in on a month. Um, it's been interesting. I can't say it's been easy or even fun, but it's definitely been interesting because I've learned a little bit more about myself. I learned a little bit more about my habits in terms of like sleeping and working. I learned that I may work a little too much and I don't make a lot of time for just me. Um, I've been practicing more self care in terms of um, trying to exercise more. Because I definitely walk around this apartment. I spent the first couple of weeks just walking around this apartment, and at night I'll walk around the neighborhood a couple times around the block, just to get myself uh, acclimated. I put myself on a schedule, so I'm not going to the market every single day. Because being outside I found myself almost developing a phobia, and it was difficult because I found myself almost being afraid to go outside at times because if you listen to the news and what everybody was sharing and posting on Facebook and all the outlets on the media sites, you would go crazy. And I had to literally put myself on a schedule. So I used to be able to in the morning time look, and at the evening time if I go to bed I'll look. But now I may look once that morning or every other day, or I'll go to people's pages who I know are researchers like Monty or DDM. or my friend Shania, I would look at those pages because I know they're sharing accurate news and I know they're sharing real information. Text from Monty, oh no, you're walking around your neighborhood. What about the killer around? Ain't no killers around here. That's that neighborhood you live in that Mount Washington area, that Washington Heights area. Uh, but it's been really quiet around here because the businesses aren't open around here other than the food and the gas stations. But other than that, it's really quiet because people haven't been moving as much. I live on a main thoroughway, uh, and so it could be a little bit busy in terms of traffic even at night. But it still hasn't been a lot of traffic through here because again, a lot of the people, a lot of it's this area is split between commercial and residential, so it's not as busy. Um, but it's been real peaceful, and it's cooler outside, so everybody not outside again. But I'm just hoping that this doesn't fade into May because I don't want to. I've been seeing a lot of people who have had to spend their birthdays indoors, and I actually, for the first year in a long time, I made plans ahead of time. So everybody's been getting who had plans throughout April and March have been getting emails and such from either the airport or hotels or whatever, canceling their flights or so. But mine hasn't been canceled yet, so I'm gonna just keep the faith that by May the 24th, all this would be um, done and over with, so I can actually make plans 1 year for myself. I can't tell you where I'm going because that's a secret, but it was a good trip. What else do I have on my list? So I definitely, so if you're listening, please message in. Let me know what you've been doing. Are you still working? You still have to go out to work? Are you teleworking? Are you becoming a teacher, at home teacher now? How has this new virtual learning experience worked out for you? Um, what are you doing creatively for yourself? Any artists that may be listening? I'm trying to share it out a little bit more. It doesn't look like, I think Tyrone's having some issues with logging in. So I'm going to just keep it moving and try to um, uh, I text them. Um, uh, hold on. Oh, I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm just reaching out to a few people trying to share it out. Um, hold on, let me see. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying, y'all. There you go. And I can share it to this right here. So yeah. So I keep moving over. That's what I'm doing. I realize that. So a couple things that I've been doing to not necessarily this past time, but things that I wanted to do uh that I haven't done. I had bought a Rosetta Stone uh, lesson, the Spanish one, just to refresh myself on Spanish. I was starting to teach more Spanish students. In the last school that I was at, I had a number of students who were not speaking English at all, and they were just learning English for the first time. So it was difficult trying to do my class for them and that, but I was refreshing myself. So I've been brushing up on my Spanish. I also started taking a sign language class. So I'm gonna tell you, last week I started the class, and school for me is not difficult, but learning virtually is hard. So that's why I've been reaching out to a number of parents, and just making sure that they're okay, and their students are okay. Because I know for me, I tried to take virtual classes in college, and it was not for me. I did not have the best time doing it. I'm gonna adjust myself real quick for the last time because my leg, I think, will go to sleep, and it's not. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying. Let me see my junkie table. There you go. I'm good now. So for me, I started taking, as I said, a sign language class, and it's been a little bit difficult. Rosetta Stone is a little bit easier for me because I already knew Spanish, and I'm just refreshing myself. And I'm trying to really get a little bit more acclimated to virtual learning. Uh, hmm, no, I have not canceled my flight yet, Mon. I don't believe it. I don't. So anyway, so I've been taking a sign language class, and it's been really difficult because, as I said, I'm not. Virtual learning is really difficult, and the gentleman that has been learning it, and I have reached out to him to maybe call in, but he didn't. He hasn't responded, so I can't put his name out there yet. But I've been taking his course, and you can this course you can take a free online course. They offer it free online, and then you go to his website for some one-on-one training. And I think I want the one-on-one training because I need the actual person there. Like I'm not good with none of them web learning tutorials where you basically just reading and listening and learning on your own. So I've been taking a lot of the classes, and a lot of the stuff is starting to be familiar to me. A lot of the stuff is starting to be um, I'm getting the rhythm of it. So what I did not realize that in sign language, facial expressions mean everything. Facial expressions um, is the biggest part of learning sign language because you could be using your hand, uh, and it's what is it? So help me. So depending on how your facial expressions are, help me can be an emergency or just a casual. Can you help me do something? And I'm learning that your facial expressions are, and they're really important in learning uh, and learning what you have to express. If you're a person who is you're not deaf, you're not deaf, so you can hear. Uh, it is really it's really effective if you learn how to use your face. Most people we talk, especially Americans, we're really we're hands, and we talk a lot with our hands, and that can be distracting. But you learn how to get them back in your face, and it's easy for me to get that concept because I'm an actor, and that's basically how we've been trained. Like especially theater act, everything is in your face, and you have to make it larger than life. If you're a film or TV actor, subtle things with your face make a difference, and that's really what sign language is, like subtle movements with your face expression. So if it's happy or learning how to express different emotions on your face as you're doing sign language gives people so your facial expressions become equivalent to your tone your tone when you're speaking to somebody. So if you're loud or you're yelling or you're really quiet, that says a lot about your mood. So your facial expression tells people your mood while you're signing to them, while you're signing to them. So it allows people to be able to understand you and hear you. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I never made the time for it. And they actually have classes in the Baltimore school system, not the Baltimore school system, at at BCCC, and I believe Catonsville. And a couple other uh, schools in the city offer that as a course. And definitely there are some online classes and such for people to be able to talk and communicate and learn in the classroom setting. And that's what I really need. But this is a great start for me. So once this is all over and we can actually go to school, I'm really looking at some programs throughout the city. And I found one at Catonsville and at BCCC to be able to take some sign language classes. And it's really something I just wanted to do. It's not anything that I think I would want to work on, but you could find work being an interpreter. And I think it's really, and I don't think I would want to work. I just would love to be able to communicate. I do have a friend that is deaf, and one of the frustrations for me is um, the back and forth communication. Because normally when we're together, we may text, and then when we're apart, we text more. And because I'm not a texter, it kind of ruins like the kind of the rhythm of conversation. Because you got to say something, and then they receive it, and it's all that. But I'm learning how to and really for the person who can hear, your mouth means a lot. So people being able to use those muscles in your mouth, because a lot of what you're saying to them is something that they can read off your lips. So they're looking at your mouth because they're being able to looking at your expression because they're trying to get your tone, your emotion, and then they're looking at your hands for the actual words or phrases or the actual communication, the other half of the communication. So those three things are really important. So learning how to talk and be able to naturally uh, use your mouth and then mouth muscles to be able to communicate. It's all good. So I'm getting really excited because uh, uh, I'm I'm trying to figure out how to communicate. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to communicate what my needs are, and it's just difficult because I'm used to a classroom setting. So um, I'm really it's made me think about the students more and what this change has done to them, because not everybody has the discipline to be able to learn in a virtual setting. And a lot of the teachers that I'm speaking to, that's one of the complaints that they have. Uh, a lot of the students are just using it. They write in the messenger box, or they're just distracted about everything that's going on. And this happens in the classroom setting. So imagine being alone in your home. And one of the things that, that is being to teachers to give is to tell them, give them a spot that is not necessarily leisurely comfortable. So they shouldn't be sitting on a couch. They shouldn't be on the bed. Um, they shouldn't be uh, on the floor. Sit them at a table where the computer is at a comfortable level for them to type back, and a place where the sound is um, conducive to them being able to hear and not be distracted by noises or sounds, and give them maybe headphones so they're not distracted by sound, and put them in a space where people aren't necessarily walking through a lot. It's not a like in a main space for the family. If they have siblings, put the younger siblings, or their other siblings in a different location from where they are, so they're not being distracted. But the headphones, and finding a comfortable but professional space for them to be able to work in, where there are no distractions, where people walking back and forth, or they're able to see everything that's going on around them, but where they're able to actually focus. So I'm really it's just a lot, and I'm trying to find ways to for myself put myself back on that schedule. I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about in terms of um, things that are going on. I don't want to talk about Trump or this virus. I'm trying to find other ways, and I think all of us need to stay aware of what's going on, uh, but don't be so consumed by it, where so it just consumes everything that we talk about, everything that we do, because a lot of people are suffering from depression right now. And I've had a number of people who I've been talking to who have been really going through some depression. There are a number of hotlines and therapy places. A lot of the hospitals have their own line of therapy. A lot of them have a not line of therapy, but a counselor on duty there for people that may be coming through. I know a lot of addiction counselors that are on standby that are still teleworking or have a facility that they go to where they're still able to see clients that may be dealing with some type of addiction. Really important to check in on those people because this may be a tough time because it may trigger some things that they need. And it's really unfortunate that this is happening, but be mindful of your family and your loved ones who may suffer from mental instability or drug or alcohol dependency, or who just may go through bouts of depression or anxiety. We were talking on Monday with uh, Maureen about some things that you're doing, and even for me, I don't suffer from depression, but depression doesn't escape any of us, and depression is very normal. But what happens is when it's over an extended period of time, and now for the most part, things have been kind of shut down for the last 3 to 4 weeks. That's enough time to create a unsafe space to be in mentally. I've been doing a lot of research on some ways that artists can support mental health. So I've been kind of creating some um, possible curriculum for some workshops and dealing with it. And I wanted to start it here, and I'm gonna start actually going live a little bit more throughout the week just to balance out the show dates on Mondays and Fridays until we get back to normal. Because even for me, just being able to do this gives me something to look forward to. So that creating a schedule for yourself can give you something to do in this meantime because there's really nothing else that you can or should be doing in this moment if you're not essential to your workplace or you're not essential to um, workplace, or you don't have a family member that you have to check on, um, or something like that. But just call more, communicate more, and just reach out to people who you know may need a little bit more attention in um, this moment. I've tried my best to reach out to people who who I think would need help, but in that case, I'm kind of helping myself at the same time because we don't have a lot of time to really. We haven't given ourselves in normal life a lot of time to just sit still and communicate and talk with people and catch up with people. And I think this moment has really allowed a lot of us to be able to do that. So if you have any other questions or if you want to talk, send me a message, 443-642. Oh, I'm touching the screen like it's a touch screen. 443-642-9403. You can leave a text there if you have any questions. I'm trying to figure out what have you been doing during this time? Have you been sleeping your life away? Have you been eating your life away? Um, a friend of mine, she works in billing for hospitals, and she says a lot of sexual injuries are starting to come through. So be careful out there, even and you trying to figure out what to do during all this time. But have you started a business? Are you reorganized a business? Tyree waved. Hey Tyree, what's going on? We waiting for you to come back, sir. Uh, and sidebar, if you are still in a space where you're looking for a platform like a podcast style uh, format to be able to start a show or bring a new show over, we're still accepting new shows. Right now, we're using this platform as a means to do our shows at. But once the station is up and running, we'll be back to normal. And again, like I said, we will be adding on a new component to helping artists and small business to promote themselves in a unique, somewhat unique way. But back to it. So, what have you been doing during this isolation period? Have you tried new things? Like I've been taking a couple of different types of classes. I don't watch TV nearly as much, but I've started to get into that Netflix zone. So, if you have any shows that you think I should be watching or any films, just let me know. I think I've watched a number of movies. I'm starting to watch a lot more older movies now, but I'm just getting myself in a space where I'm able to balance life off. So you got to work, you got to make money, but what are you doing beyond that? How are you balancing that out with time to yourself? And I'm really figuring that out because my work time and my me time are all in the same location. So how do I balance that out? More power to people who are already used to working from home. I don't have the discipline, and I'm learning that now. But coming into this, I did not have the discipline to do that because working from home, I'm asleep and I'm gonna do a little bit of work and I'm gonna pile up the work on the next day. But that's what working from home meant to me. Um, so, what are some of the things that you're doing to the parents out there? How difficult has this been? Because some of you are still working, most of you are still essential employees. Um, some of you are single parents. How is it for you as a single parent trying to deal with life like this? Elaborate on sexual. Tyree, what are you doing? Now magnify that, and that's what's happening. So she said a lot of patients are going to the emergency room with fractured penises. I'm on tonight, sir. We back. So that's one of them. I'm not giving you no ideas, Tyree, but that's one of them. One of them was a lot of patients had started reporting. Well, a lot of doctors have been started reporting fractured penis injuries as a new injury on the list. So just stay safe, stay out of harm's way, so you're not having to go into danger by going into these emergency rooms. And I had to go to one yesterday with a family member, and it was very scary. Luckily, the hospital that we was in did a really good job at segregating people and keeping the flow of it moving. Shout out to Mercy Hospital, but for always having a even flow. I've never been in there where it was packed to capacity or people were just all over the place. But yeah, stay safe. If you're gonna, you know, do the sexual, be safe with it. Don't go ham. Don't break it in half. Basically. But I am really starting to enjoy this. It has been depressing, to be perfectly honest, but a lot of my friends have been supportive in terms of us rotating our conversations and uh, texting and still trying to stay normal and create a temporary normal in all of this foolishness. Um, and I want to know for those of you who may not be working, what have you tried to do? I know I was going online. I was asking a couple people about social service. They said they've been backed up. Unemployment is backed up. Um, the IRS is backed up. So how are you planning to make money if this go on any longer? What are some things that you're trying to do? Hey, I'm gonna need some help myself. But what are some of the things that you're looking to do, and how are you making this work for you in the time that you have? Um, what what are some of the things that you've been doing just to pass time or get to work or get busy for those of you who have been laid off or temporarily laid off or basically let go from your jobs? And that's not an easy thing because looking in the long term, how would this affect us? I know my job, we were sending emails in terms of how everybody was doing. And in March, it was one thing because you had just got paid and, money was not so scarce, but moving into a whole nother month, what is this going to mean for May? Because now, for me, we don't know if at the end of this month it's going to be safe for us to go back out with, restrictions or whatever. But what does that mean for us in the long term making money? And I'm noticing a lot of artists and art organizations and even entrepreneurs are really finding ways. There are a lot of people out there making the CMOS, people who are making masks for people to wear. There are companies out there that are making the cover ups, facial cover up shields for the stores and for the nurses and doctors and such. A lot of people are really getting active. I'm loving how a lot of the restaurants are keeping it going and making things work despite all the difficulties. Cleaning my apartment, reading and researching. Uh, my heart says you're lying, sir. I don't. I want to see. I want to see proof. Um, I want to see proof. But it's I'm talking to a lot of different types of artists on many of the social media sites that I'm now discovering. I'm not gonna fall victim to the TikTok. I'm not. That ain't what I do. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna enjoy them. I'm gonna like them. I may even share them, but I'm not gonna get caught up in that way. Uh, not last week, but trying to see their page by talking. Oh, here you go. Right here. Okay. I'm really excited about where this will go. I'm a little nervous about um, how this will affect people in general. Um, as somebody who makes his living as an artist full time, and I basically work for myself outside of the station and the school, I am not as much worried, but just a little, just thinking a little bit heavy about what we can um, do. I've tried, as I said in the beginning of the show, I'm doing a reading, and we'll be accepting donations at that reading. So if you want to tune into that, that'll money is eating Dungeons, Crabs. Um, that's what I'm learning. You don't have to respond to everything. That's a valuable I learned yesterday. Shouldn't have to respond. Do you believe it's 5G that? Uh, I'm staying away from a lot of the conspiracies. One, because I think people are letting people give them their news. And I had an argument with someone the other day about this because, um, actually on Monty's show, Talk Lately on Tuesday, talking about this on the show. And I think we have to find out the information. What has happened? All the news on coronavirus and the COVID-19, and then now all the news on 5G is everything is getting mixed and jumbled up. Now, trust and believe, there is a lot of sense that's being made in a lot of the reporting. But, however, well, there you go. So a lot of the information that's being put out there on these things is made because all sitting in the house reading all this starting to become one thing. I don't believe that the 5G upgrade is the cause of the COVID-19. There may be other issues I don't. I'm going to a network for a Comcast is being added to the jobs that are already. So just like you hook in another cord to your, TV, it's as easy as it is for them to hook up a new 5G line to this company's tower or this company. This it's not. I don't think it's causing it. I think what people should start doing is, one, if you look on Facebook and you see an article, first of all, you should always look where the article is. Take that website and Google it. If nothing comes up, it's false news. We have to be careful because now we're still in a political season. Uh, we're still in a political season, and we have to remember that people are out for candidates to win. So a lot of this news have been put out as a distraction. And I just saw some news uh, that was put out, and it sounded as if it was somebody complaining about Democrats. But the information that they said Democrats was doing was really stuff that you can clearly see that the Republicans are doing. So we're still in a political environment. So we have to be careful about the information that's taken because people are really starting to listen to the information that's being put out. And we have to be mindful. Read the whole article. If there are grammatical errors in the article, then it's fake news. Trust and believe. Even if it's a notable source, don't believe it because they didn't have enough gumption to spell check. But really understand, read the whole article, not just the headlines, not just the little 30-second clip that go along with it. All these clips that people are sharing within uh, their messenger box that you're getting, limit the information that you take in that way. If you really want information, if it's really something that is breaking, go to a CNN or a website that's a reputable source, and really listen to the information. There are times that I'll listen to Fox News just so a lot of the fake news that's being reported by everybody else, the mainstream uh, news, and there's still fake news that gets through reputable sources. So you got to be able to listen to a lot of different sources so you can be able to uh, cipher between what's real and what's not. I really don't believe that, in short, 5G is causing this COVID-19 epidemic, but we have to be mindful of our fears in terms of the healthcare industry and the government. And we know in our history, the government has not always been the most honest with us, if they've not been honest at all. And the healthcare industry, we have to be mindful that there are a lot of truths that are out there in terms of things, and in terms of the whole healthcare versus government, a lot of the things that are happening. There are a lot of truths that are out there, but a lot of the stuff is being mixed and mingled with other things, and we have to know what's factual. I understand it's really hard to listen to any media outlet, any Facebook page, and not question. It's really hard because we don't really know what to believe. But in a space where we're in right now, we really have to learn how to create uh, valuable information, and really as a source. That's why I rarely share out anything political or anything um, from this whole crisis, because I'll read the source and then I'll see where they got their news from, and then once you start going back and back and back, you'll realize that news came from a source that was not credible. And then people are reporting on it, and then somebody reporting on what and it begins to be out of hand. And now we believe that the 5G towers are killing people. And just in my conversation with Marty, and he made a lot of sense, other sources have already been using 5G. It just hasn't been available to the public, just like 4G wasn't at one time. So they're just easing it in. It's just all happening at one time. And the news is starting to get confusing because people are reporting things as factual. And sometimes I listen even to Good Morning America or a lot of these other news stations that are actual news and not just pop culture or hot topic. But I listen to a lot of, and it doesn't make sense to me. A lot of these bloggers and YouTubers who call themselves media and they're reporting on things, it don't make sense. It's too many opinions being attached to things and not enough facts. And as a person that's out there reading uh, reading and then sharing out information that we're getting, we need to be a little bit more responsible and reading what we're sharing out to people because a lot of people are ignorant. So if they believe in what you're doing, say you got a radio show and I post something on my radio show page, people who follow me gonna believe it, or they will realize what nonsense it is, and they're going to not follow me anymore. So now I've lost followers because I'm putting out things that are fake news. But so yeah, that's how I feel about that whole 5G thing. It's we don't have enough information, and people are reporting off of feelings and emotions and opinions, and that's not factual information. And I'm not saying the everyday person, but when you share things like that, write something in a comment box. write something, write something in a comment box that gives us what your point of view is, so we know that you're not sharing information. I suggest don't share anything that's not fact. But if you post something that says, "What if 5G is really causing COVID?" Blah blah, that starts a conversation. Instead of just posting something and there's no frame of reference, there's no context in what you're sharing, it really you're sharing fake news. That's where fake news come from individuals that are not reading beyond the little description box on a line. Yeah, right. Marty just said, "Where are the facts?" And we're not in a space where we're not. People are just doing that to the point where this whole 5G is causing COVID-19 came because people took one article and another article and reported on them or made comments on their page, and that made somebody who read it think that 5G caused COVID, and now it's out of proportion. So now that's become part of the internet. Never. That's crazy. And anybody can say anything. We've seen how they've been able to manipulate people's voices and make a video where Obama is saying something or Trump is saying, and it's false news. It's a lot of false news and narratives. And my fear is that all of this is going to get Trump reelected because people are going to lose focus on what's really important and what is factual versus, and the people who are following Trump are confused because they don't really know what to believe. So they're going to hold on to what this one person or these people who represent that one person is saying. And it's detrimental to just being in the media. It's detrimental to us, especially in a moment like this. Fake news is dangerous because there are a lot of people out there that's not taking what the CDC is saying and what health officials are saying. They're not taking it. And honestly, it broke my heart this week, the top of this week, for me to read a post from my sister. My sister is a nurse, and I pray for her constantly because I have four nieces, and I would hate for anything to happen to my sister, regardless whether she had children or not. But I wouldn't want anything to happen to their mother because it could possibly affect them. And she was saying people are coming in who are would have been relatively healthy, that don't have any underlying health problems, that just didn't take this seriously, like barbers. As bad as I want to get this beard cut, I'm not about going to nobody's shop, the back door of nobody's shop, or somebody's home to get my hair cut in a moment like this where you don't know who else been in that chair, who else got their hair cut with those clippers. And there's been at least 3 or 4 reports of barbers that are contracting coronavirus and or COVID-19 and dying. And it's not worth it's not it's not worth it. It's not. I can wait. If it starts to rise up above my eyelids, then I can shave it down a little bit and maintain it. But it's ridiculous how people are not taking it seriously. There's a whole club song now, a Baltimore club song, about not about defying the curfew and not thinking about the dangers of being outside. And I say to a lot of the family members of these people who are avidly not protecting themselves and not following the rules that are out here, don't let them back in your house. Don't let them out your house. I just saw an article, not an article, an interview with um, Lunel, the comedian, and she said she told her daughter from the door that you can't come in my house. And that probably was hard for her to do. She said, but she's been moving around and she's been like outside and going to friends' house. And why would you want to bring that back into your home? And now I just the other night, the police officers were trying to get some people from out my neighborhood because they were all around this one car and they were like, what's so hard about y'all could have did this on a Zoom or something, like a phone chat or something. Like, don't put yourself in danger and then put other people in danger. Like, it really is heartbreaking, it's harmful. I have a grandmother that is in a nursing home and she can't get visitors. But as her nurses do the rounds, they make sure somebody calls her and she can hear somebody's voice and talk to them. She's not as alert, but she's still able to communicate, and that's harmful and that's hurtful to know that you can't visit your family members. And a lot of these people who are dying in the hospital, they're dying alone because you can't come into the room. You can't even come into the hospital. Me going into the emergency room, we still had to wait outside. We couldn't go inside the actual emergency room. There was like a space outside, and then people were still keeping their distance and they were making sure people still wasn't up on each other. But it's still people still not respecting the rules. They're not respecting what I mean. I can't even say laws, but actions or or Hogan. I said Logan. Hogan has done a really good job. Our governor here in Baltimore has done a really good job of communicating with us, giving us the rules and giving us the restrictions. And I can clearly see they're doing a lot of videos out there where people just not paying attention. They're not. They're, I know right now people still trying to make money and they're trying to take care of their families. But if you're not here, if you die, who will take care of your family? And I'm really trying to do the research on what are they doing with the bodies, because I believe if you die from causes that are not connected to coronavirus, they're allowing your body to be um, taken by your family, and you can have a funeral, but you're still limited as how many people can actually come to the funeral. And I don't believe anybody is allowed at the cemetery. So it really is this is unfortunate because it's going to take a lot of people dying for people to really believe it. And then now the cases are coming in. The children, there's younger and younger people, like in their 20s, are now dying. And it's probably because part of it is probably because they're working and they're in environments that were not really safe for them to be in. But a lot of them is because they're not following the. I would be really interested to know the numbers of the people that are hanging out in cities like Baltimore. How many of them have it? I think they should have start to get tested when they're outside. That should be part of their punishment is to get tested, um, and they won't do it again. So once they start realizing they got it, I think that will probably sit a lot more of them down. Um, I'm not saying that. 10 minutes. He said. Monty says 21215 Park Heights has it bad. I can only imagine. I mean I remember living up there, so if it's anything like it was when I was living up there, they all still probably outside right now. And it's no shade to anybody that lives or have a home in Park Heights, but Areas like that, they're not listening. Penn North, they still not listening. Down here on North Avenue and Maryland Avenue, not too far from where I'm at, they were saying it was still a problem. Over on Greenmount in 25th, they were saying it was a problem over there. So I can just imagine people not listening. People are finding comfort because they say a lot of them are like, if you live in an apartment building, people still feel like, oh, we're in the same building. No, you should still quarantine yourself in your home where you can control who's coming and going, and you can control the cleanliness of your apartment. But it's not worth it. Just do something else, find something else to do, and figure that out. We have 10 more minutes left. The next show coming up is going to be the Cocktail Social, and then I just heard news that It Is What It Is coming back tonight. Hey, Miss Richburg, let me just take a moment. I don't know if you're still listening, so send me a thumbs up if you're still listening. I have read your book. Now, that's not a shock. I still have one of your other books. I haven't read that one yet, but I have read your book that you wrote with your husband, and I've got to read it, but I was kind of skimming through it. But I actually sit down and read this book. I'm gonna do a review of your book actually, so maybe you can come on Monday, and we can do a review of your book. So if you listen to Miss Richburg, I want to do a review of your book. I've thoroughly read it this time. So I want to sit down and maybe talk to you if you have time. I know you are teleworking, you're a professor, but I would definitely want to talk to you and um, get some relationship information from you. Shout out to Miss Richburg. We're going to be coming every Monday and Friday. Next Monday, I have a special guest. I'll be posting that information soon for that one. Sorry for Tyrone who couldn't join us. He may be able to jump in uh, on Monday and talk to us. I know he's busy. He's actually running for councilman as well, a councilman seat. So he's doing a lot. So he's probably a little bit tied up. So gracious to him. Lady O, she's a chef. I'm trying to get her to come on the show. And I'll be having on a few of the ladies so over the weekend I'll be interviewing them. Over the next week I'll be interviewing them, and we'll have them on. I'm trying to get them on next Friday. Information on the show. Let me hurry up and get to that real quick while we're still on here. So I'm doing a live virtual reading of a full length play. So it'll be the entire play. Um, I was about to say something I should have said. So I'll be doing a a live virtual reading of a play. It's called Boot Prince, written by Latonya Valencia Morris. And we'll be having three of Baltimore's own beautiful actresses, Miss Jaceera Glover, Miss Joanne Wiley, and Miss Tanelia McKinney Ingram will be joining us. They'll be the actresses. We'll also have online the playwright, Latonya Valencia Mars. We'll be doing a brief interview with the four ladies, and then we'll go right into the actual play, and we'll have an awesome time for you all to chop it up, sing, talk. It's going to be a lot. It's an awesome play. It's a phenomenal play. If you missed it any of the times that we've done this play, this is your opportunity to tune in. And you don't have to pay to get in. We are asking for donations. So if you are available on April the 19th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., that is a Sunday, not this Sunday, the following Sunday, please tune in. It's going to be on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We'll share out everything. The Eventbrite is now up. So please take a moment, take a moment and go to the radio show page or my personal page, and you'll be able to join the Eventbrite. I'm really excited. I'm really, 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 really excited. This is my first time doing something like this, but I'm comfortable because I've worked with these ladies before and I've worked with this piece before, so it's a really easy transition. And this is my first time doing something, doing the quarantine of this pandemic. And I'm really excited because it's really giving me a jolt of energy and performing and just And actually, I'm doing a play of reading as well virtually, so that'll be coming up shortly. And I've been talking to a number of other artists about doing some more pop-up readings and some art shows. And I actually have another young lady who's doing an art show this coming Monday, and we'll be posting some images and videos and monologues and all those things. So look out for that. I post everything on the page. Anything that else I gotta say? If you are a business, no matter where you are, you don't have to be in Maryland. Preferably if you're in the DMV area, you can get to Baltimore. That would be optimal. But we will be trying some virtual aspects too. If you're looking for a new way to promote your business during this trying time, definitely reach out to us at info@beexposedradio.com or the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com if you're looking for interesting, creative, and a fun, different spin on promoting your business. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Please share this show out if you're listening right now. I really appreciate you. I'm trying my best to learn how to do this and be multitasking and read the things and all that. So definitely thank you for staying patient with me and the station as we have this temporary new norm for us. Again, we have two shows coming up tonight on Big Exposed. That is the Cocktail Social talk show and It Is What It Is talk show. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in. Thank you all. Thank you, Ms. Richburg, Tyree, Riga, all you all who have been tuning in. I really appreciate you. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. We're done.